Are you a successful entrepreneur or one in training? You've got the vision, but do you have the right partner to build your brand, your team, and your future online and off? At cprfirm.com, we offer expert consulting, financial guidance, and life coaching because we believe in doing life with our clients. After all, what is it for a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Founded by Callan Cash Coleman, we help our clients not only succeed, but plan to retire rich. Your business deserves the best. Start building your legacy today at cprfirm.com.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Make sure you pick up my 2 books that's in Amazon right now. The first one is Passive-Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy. And I talk about in that particular book how the system of white supremacy really runs and on our daily lives here in America. In our latest book, 7 Steps to Decolonize the Mind, we go through those steps to try to deprogram you from the system of white supremacy. Make sure you can pick up those books on Amazon.com.
I used to work almost 14 hours a day. Every day he was sending me money for lunch.
Every day is like when you go to work?
Exactly. Every day when I go to work.
But did you not feel creepy? Wait, of course he was giving you money all the time. But did you knew that he could actually afford you to such extent?
I never really let my mom see that I was dating someone who was giving me money, whatever. Fortunately, I was like, okay, fine. I don't feel like it's gonna work for me in the office because I see there's money, like a lot of money, and it's not mine.
Did you feel like you were gonna end up stealing it?
I did a little bit.
Watch Slay Queen only on the African Diaspora News Channel app.
From November 14th to 21st, we're inviting you to join us for a powerful trip to Ghana. A key location in the history of the transatlantic slave trade and the story of our foundational Black American ancestors. This isn't just a vacation. This is a chance to walk through the same places where many of our people were captured, held, and shipped off into slavery. We'll visit historic sites like Elmina Castle and Cape Coast, where you'll see with your own eyes what our ancestors endured. You'll also experience modern Ghana, the culture, the people, the food, and the history they carry, giving you a broader understanding of how our story intersects with theirs. If you've ever wanted to deepen your understanding of our history, this is your opportunity. There are 25 spots available, and once those spots are gone, that's it. So don't wait. Secure your spot today by paying a deposit and be part of this unforgettable journey. We're making history by walking through it. Will you be with us?
What if I told you there's a news platform made just for us? Unfiltered, unapologetic, telling our stories from Africa and the diaspora. The African Diaspora News Channel app keeps you informed and empowered from wherever you are at any time. Don't just watch, join the movement. Download the app now and stay connected to the news that matters.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us here on the stream. We greatly appreciate it. We have come into a new month, and that is a beautiful, beautiful thing. We've come into a new month together, the 6th month of the year. And with that being said, the 6th month of the year, I'm pretty sure if you have looked at the community tab over the weekend, as of the 1st, we have launched our last sale of the year during Emancipation Month from June 1 to June 30. We have a sale on the ADNC app for, maybe first time, customers to it. They want to download the app. You'll get 19% off of the annual subscription. So jump on it ASAP, 19% in this particular month. You can take advantage of that. But speaking of that, let me talk about that for a few minutes. We got so many things to talk about tonight. I had kind of, posted something on Twitter about this too, because a lot of people last time took advantage, and we want to, this is the last one of the year, so let people take advantage as well. But, we, every June, definitely to celebrate Juneteenth, our logo is changed, even if you look at the colors, of course, it's changed to the red, white, and blue. We have, because the African continent is in the logo itself. If you look intently at it, it actually has the Juneteenth, the proper Juneteenth flag. Not that red, not the red, yellow, and green. That's not the colors, but the proper colors, right? So, you got the fringe on whatever group whatever you believe. You got fringe people. You got fringe Christians, fringe Muslims. You got fringe people that politically on the left, fringe on the right. We'll be talking about the fringe tonight, actually. You got the fringe everywhere. And most FBAs I meet, as long as somebody respects us, of course, don't disrespect us, and they're cool, we say, hey, man, we cool or whatever. There's no issue, no problem. Most FBA people I meet are nice people. The majority of them that I've ever met, are welcoming people. They're not mean people. So this little fringe that you see saying stupid crap, I always say don't pay attention to that online, because most of those people, that's the only way they can express themselves online. If you say, okay, let's talk about this and put them on the spot, they couldn't do that, because you got people on the fringe that, they have this such hatred for Africa. Like, what did Africa do to you? I don't even know, right? But you have a hatred for it. I don't get it. You got more venom toward the African continent than you do toward these folks. I'm like, man, the folks is the one you need to put that smoke toward, because they the one that mass incarcerated us. They the one that bombed our, a place like Black Wall Street. They stole our land like Seneca Village, now it's Central Park, right? Look how millions upon millions of acres of land they stole from us. We got our problems here and there. That's most of the discussion. But the people that's the real ones that have harmed Black Americans, for sure, have been these people here. And they're still harming Black people, okay? And anybody that sides with them, if you try to, they're always going to stab you in the back. They're always not going to, properly, treat you right. They're always looking out for themselves. They're selfish. They crave money. They crave power. And they will do whatever they got to do to get it, okay? Which is harming you, backstabbing you, taking your life, taking your kids' life, taking your dog's life, whatever they got to do to get it. So that's always my focus. My focus isn't getting into it with off-code black immigrants. Just like we got off-code black Americans. We got them. We deal with them as we can, right? Like, for instance, Jesse Lee Peterson, he's FBA. He's off-code. We say what we say to Jesse, but that's the end of it. We don't make Jesse the enemy, because Jesse Lee Peterson, I'm just using him for example, he's never done to us what these folks have done. Never. So I always keep who's done things to us in the proper perspective. If you show me love, I show you love back. If you can't stand me, well, I can't stand you either. And that's really why I met with it, at least me personally. So the channel, and remember, some people that feel that way, the channel is not changing the name. It's African Diaspora News Channel, okay? If you don't like that, I don't know what to tell you. Create your own platform, do what you got to do. All right. But to the other people, the majority of people, I say 99.9% of the people, take advantage of the sale that's coming up. Also, speaking of that, we have the trip in November to Ghana. We got 16 spots left, actually, 16 spots. And secure your spot and come with us in November. A lot of you always tell me after every trip, Phil, I'm going to come on the next one with you, Phil. I'm going to come. And I hear that every time, right? So take advantage. Go come with your brothers and sisters. You come go for a good week, visit, break bread, enjoy yourself. And then you come right back on home to the good old U.S. of A. And we got to talk about, that tonight. Outside of that, we're going to talk about ICE tonight. ICE and the Democrats. We got to talk about the Democrats and ICE because, you remember earlier I was talking about that what we have in this country, we've been having in this country for sure, definitely with Joe Biden and now with Donald Trump, okay? So we have the pendulum. Would you say King Noble says it's a lot more off-code FBAs than people think? Yeah, listen, you got off-code people all over the world. And we're going to talk about even off-code people in the Hispanic community tonight. We're going to talk about them too. So you have the pendulum that swing both ways, right? You got the pendulum that swing too far to the left and the pendulum that swing too far to the right, okay? And what a lot of you seeing right now is that pendulum that swung too far to the right. But remember, we just come through an administration that swung too far to the left. Now, that's what created the pendulum to swing back this way, okay? So remember, during Joe Biden, when this swung to the left, hard left, what were they talking about? Trans this, trans that, way to the left. What else they was talking about? Mass immigration, to the point it didn't even make sense. It was just way too far to the left with it. Putting them in the cities, giving them money, giving them hotel rooms. Just doing too much, right? Doing way too much. Making America look weak on the world stage. Just so much that was done during this administration. Putting up the Planned Parenthood at the DNC convention. Just too far to the left. Doing too much, right? The disrespect of men in general. Just have this immense hatred for men, straight men. Let me say that, straight men in particular. You understand what I'm saying? Swinging too far to the left. And people got so sick and tired of that far, it's like the far left. Then when Trump come along, he said, hey, I'm going to get him out of here. Well, you experienced so much fringe on the left doing that you think, you know what, Trump, that don't sound bad. They don't sound bad at all. You gonna get them out? Cause man, look, they in my city. I can't even get no money. My city. I'm homeless, but yet I got migrants in my city. Got shelter. Swung too far to the left, right? Now, Barack Obama. Factually, there are people that came into the country during Barack Obama's tenure. And Barack Obama deported more people than even Trump deported in at least his first term. In his 8 years, they called him the deporter in chief. So he had ICE getting people out of here too, Barack Obama. But the way Barack Obama did it, he didn't do it too far to the left with people coming in, and he didn't do it too far to the right, getting people out of here. So you didn't really know how many would come in during Obama and how many got taken out until after the fact and you found out the numbers. So that pendulum now has swung way back this way. And because it swung back way back this way, people complaining again. Say, wait a minute, Trump, y'all doing too much. Well, remember, you said Biden was doing too much too. So that's what's happening. Most people, they really want to live in the middle. They may be center left or they may be center right. But that's kind of where most people would rather stay, is the center. But we've had basically the fringe of each party, whether it's a Democrat Party, Republican Party, kind of just become the face of it, pushing out everything just abnormal and crazy. Now, over the weekend, I've been hearing about this, so I took the time to go through it. They have a website called the Project 2025 Tracker. And on the Project 2025 Tracker, it shows you kind of like what they said in Project 2025, what they want to do or what they're attempting to do, and how much of it has gotten done, which a lot of it has, some that's in progress, and then some that has not been done as of yet. Literally, the whole playbook of what's happening now is literally on that website. And if you really want to know where it's in Project 2025, they give you like a little area, give you the page number. You can go read it yourself, right? Some things I saw on there, I was like, that's not that bad. There's some things I like, okay. So some of these cuts you've seen, all these cuts, people getting fired, all that situation you've seen, that was actually in Project 2025, right? Now, some people say, well, Phil, we were trying to tell you. Slow down. There's nothing in Project 2025 that haven't happened to Black Americans. Nothing. It's nothing these people can say that what are they going to come up with that has not been done to Black people? What have they not done to Black people? What more could they do that they have not done? I always tell you that when it comes to them fear-mongering you, especially some of the Democrats, what haven't they done to Black people? Mass incarcerators. Oh, a Democrat spearheaded that, and a Democrat president signed that. Okay. Many of us lost our land through eminent domain, amidst terrorism. We've lost our land like that. In South Africa, they're talking about land expropriation without compensation. A lot of us had our land expropriated without compensation. Now, every Black person got paid money for, some people lost their stuff through terrorism. Some lost it through eminent domain. I remember covering a story on the podcast. We had a brother and sister that the land was in their family for hundreds of years, right? And they want to run a train through their land and taking their land by eminent domain. This is their land that they've been on, the FBA family, that they've been on for hundreds of years. And this mess keeps happening to Black people. We have land, we had beaches, and then these same people come back and like, why y'all never work for anything? Y'all don't have nothing. Y'all don't do this, y'all don't do that. But then all you have to do is study the history and realize Black people literally own beaches. Black people own towns. Black people, not no neighborhoods, towns. Towns. We always talking about, well, we got to fix the hood. Forget fixing the hood. We had a whole town, and the towns weren't bad places to be. It wasn't infested full of crime and all of that. Listen, quote unquote, Black crime is now of course, let me say this with balance. Crime is in every country, every community. But the type of crime that we're doing, it is manufactured by conditions that was not normal. Because you think about it, when we was to ourselves, working, doing our thing in our towns, you never heard that Black Wall Street, Greenwood, they had thugs all over the place, shooting up the place. You didn't hear that. When Black people stay by themselves, we're talking definitely FBAs, we're not really trying to commit no crimes. We actually want to work with each other. If we can just keep them people out of our mix, okay, we do very good. But a lot of people, because the pendulum swung to the left too much, especially with this immigration, a lot of Black folks were sick of it. And I'm going to say a lot of people were sick of it. It wasn't just not Black folk. So some people, a little bit more than maybe the last election, decided to vote for Donald Trump. A lot more sat it out. Some voted for Kamala Harris too. Like my state, the state of Texas. 2 million people voted for Donald Trump. 1 million voted for Kamala Harris in this state. Out of 3 million votes that came out of my state, 2 million were for Trump in this state. I just want to let y'all know that. You remember, we don't, when somebody say, well, you got to vote for this person, vote for that person. Well, it's not like voting for the Senate. It's not like voting for the House or for your mayor or your judge or whatever. It's that electoral college system. And they keep that system supposedly so the smaller states will have a voice. Well, I'm sorry. I think it should be a popular vote, and that's it. Hey, you vote for a person, 1 vote counts. That's what I think about it. But ICE, let's talk about ICE. So when the Democrats let all these people in the country, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and the Democrats left all these migrants in this country without any kind of protection, left them high and dry. I mean, but we know this as Black Americans. Hey, that's what they've done to us. They brought these people over here. Oh, they'll paper them up. They'll doing this, doing that for them. But they never really set them up where they're actually good. They kept a lot of them in proceedings, legal proceedings, even though Biden knew that Keisha said, you sat it out? Well, Keisha sat it out. Even though Biden knew what Trump was going to do, Biden was like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, he didn't do nothing to try to shore them up. At least Obama, I'll give him that much credit. Obama did DACA, even though a lot of us don't agree with DACA, but Obama didn't leave them lingering. And the way DACA works is that they still using it. So he didn't leave nobody, at least didn't leave them high and dry. Us, we didn't get nothing out of Obama. But lectures, well, I can't do that. And every time it's something for us, he can't do it. But he can do DACA. Okay, fine. But they left him out there to dry. So Trump comes in and say, hey, nah, they got to go. All of them got to go. And he said, I'm going to get the criminals out. Well, you know, when they say criminal, that means anybody they say is a criminal. You could not commit a crime. You can be the reincarnation of Mother Teresa, right? If you remember Mother Teresa. If they say you're a criminal, it's that I'm white and I say so stuff. When you hear the word criminal, you're thinking, oh, somebody's actually committing crime. But no, when they say criminal, it's who I say a criminal is. It don't matter if you don't have a criminal record. If I say you're a criminal, you're a criminal. Now, don't get me wrong. They've actually got some real criminals out of here, and which is good. And that's the people you want to get out of here. But I want y'all to start seeing over the weekend, ICE, they ain't playing. They ain't playing. Let me start showing you some of these videos of what ICE got going on. Let me show you this, and we're going to stop it and talk about some of this stuff. Hold on.
Whoa. Down. Hey, down. Down. Get down. That's fine. Hands. No, hey. Cállate la boca.
Did you hear him? He was telling him in Spanish to shut his mouth. But do you remember? Now, then I'm going to keep playing it. But how many times have we talked about the police with the jump out boys? And that's what they did to him. Let me rewind that back. That was the jump out boys right there. How many black people have talked about the jump out boys? Look, hold on. Let's start it over. This is jump out boys. Well, they just jump out and just get at you.
Whoa. Down. Hey, down. Down. Get down. That's fine. Hands. No, hey. Cállate la boca.
Okay, so right there, if y'all don't know, ICE went to all the wealthy spots too, like in Martha's Vineyard and all of that. And if you see, the Coast Guard is even involved with this one. So check this out. Now, before I get to that video, the Democrats haven't said a word. Have you noticed since Trump been getting them all out of here? Where were the Democrats at? Yelling. The only one that got a mouth, for at least that I hear talking, is Jasmine Crockett. I mean, they left poor Jasmine out there by herself to talk for the whole party, I guess. But they left these people. They told these people to come here. Biden, you remember? Biden had that CBP1 app where they could fill out applications, and you remember Biden was flying in 30,000 of them a month and dropping them off in the different cities here in the United States. And let me tell you something about them folks. The reason why we will continue to have an illegal immigration problem is because these people, number one, let's call it what it is. They have a history of being lazy. They have a history of being lazy. In the beginning, FBAs built this nation. FBAs was living on their plantations, working the land, doing the agriculture, doing building their homes. All these plantations, FBAs built it with their own hands. FBAs built the slave quarters. FBAs was creating inventions on these plantations. Black women were cooking for them, cleaning for them. They women didn't cook or clean. Their women was so lazy. They didn't even want to breastfeed their own children. And you've seen the pictures of it, where a slave woman breastfeeding a white child. That's how lazy they were in history. And they kept up the laziness all the way up until, the end of chattel slavery. Then you go from there to the black codes, where black people can't be roaming around without a job. What job they gonna have working for them? Because they were lazy, didn't want to cook, didn't want to clean, didn't want to do nothing. Black people had to continue doing things. Then they come up with the convict leasing program. A lot of brothers were getting thrown in jail for not having a job. Oh, you go into prison, you don't have a job. And then the convict leasing, these same companies can get convicts, can get the convicts and put them in a condition they were saying was actually worse than chattel slavery. And a lot of people died constantly in this convict leasing program. Then you go from all of that to go to the Jim Crow era, right? Black folks are still kind of working with them. Black women in particular, movies like The Help and all that, right? Highlight how black women are working in the household for them. Black women stopped working for them after the civil rights movement. Cynthia says, I must say it's a pleasure to see black and white women now working in essential hotel jobs, and they speak English. Oh, a lot of people gonna start taking them jobs. But let me continue. Hold on. Somebody else said something. Shelley says, I wish they would deputize Americans to help out with deportations. Whatever happened to that $1,000 per illegal immigrant proposal? That wasn't on a federal level. That was, I think, was it Mississippi or Alabama? One of those states said that. It was a proposal. It wasn't a law that got put on the books. So then when black people start working for them, if you go look at the immigration numbers, then that's when the immigrant numbers start spiking. Right after the civil rights movement and the immigration bill that was signed, it starts spiking. And when they start spiking, what happened? They know they can't get the immigrants to work for free, but they can get them to work for cheap. A lot of these people, it just recently happened. Do you know that raid that we covered here Saturday in Tallahassee, Florida? Do you know that the CEO called ICE? So all these men were working on this job site. He called ICE on them, have ICE raid and go get them all. So he had to pay them. Because, that's also what happened with illegal immigrants, too. Like, they don't have to really pay them like they want to and say, what you going to do? I'll call ICE and get you deported. The system is so corrupt with these folks, they actually supposed to go to jail. That CEO that called, they'd be like, okay, yeah, we appreciate it, but we locking you up, too, with them. Because you hired them, that's illegal. It is illegal to hire illegal immigrants. But these white people who have these businesses are allowed to break federal law. And then what they do, they get in the media and they say, oh, these immigrants keep coming over here. Yeah, because you keep hiring them. If you start jailing these white business owners, then they wouldn't be nobody to hire, right? But they don't want to make an example out of them. Remember, mass incarceration is supposed to be for FBAs. It's supposed to be for them, right? That's what should be questioned. Why aren't we locking up these white business owners who's hiring them? These white-owned contractor companies who's hiring them. Why aren't they getting charges? Why aren't they going to federal prison? You can't just go after the migrant. Well, shoot, you tell them to come over here, Biden. You give him the red carpet. Then you white-owned companies give them jobs. I mean, shoot, why wouldn't he take it? Because what he'll make here in America in a day, even if you're not paying him right, is a lot more than what he was making in his homeland, because some of them only making $3 a day. So, shoot, you send a day's worth of pay back to the homeland, man, you done did pretty good. Yeah, that's how them folks get. They didn't want to pay us for labor, and they don't want to pay them the illegal immigrant for labor either. These people don't want to pay for labor, period. They don't want to pay for labor. They never paid it with us. And when we talk about reparations, we talk about reparations for our labor, not racism, our labor. We're owed reparations for the work that we did in this country, and we didn't get paid a dime for it. The great things you see in Washington, D.C., it was our labor that did that, and we didn't get paid a single dime. And then when the descendants of our ancestors say, hey, you need to pay for that. I'm here on my ancestors' behalf, and you need to run us our money, bro. Why I don't gotta pay nothing. It's like, but you'll pay more in other things, but you don't want to pay FBAs. Okay, well, I always say you're gonna pay one way or another when it comes to that money. You're gonna pay, and it looks like you're starting to pay now. Let's continue. Now this is San Diego, California, right here. ICE went to a restaurant. They say Viona Forchetta restaurant in South Park, San Diego.
I'm giving you the opportunity to exit the vehicle. When I smash this window, you're going to get dragged out.
I need to see a warrant.
Now, everybody's talking about how they're covering their faces, which is interesting because you normally don't see our police covering their faces like that. You know, like in Mexico, they do that because of the cartel, but they covering their faces, something we've never seen. And that's a work truck this dude is in. He's not in a, regular car. He's in a work truck.
You have masked men taking people, abducting people without a warrant, without IDs.
ICE ain't playing, man. They getting everybody.
I would appreciate that.
Hey, I submit if she wants to give me some shoes.
Put them off. Put them off.
Can you give me some shoes, please?
Just give me some shoes, please.
I'm getting shoes.
Appreciate it.
We got it. Hey, do we have a cage vehicle?
Yeah, I just.
we got
what is all this about, though?
Where are you from?
FBI.
Huh?
Where are you from?
Well, what is it about, though?
What?
Well, no, I'm just.
Yeah. You don't remember me, do you? We talked back in 2010. I interviewed you about your gang membership.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I remember. So I remember you.
No, she did not. That is not what happened.
That is not what happened.
Fuck.
Oh, hold on. That last one, I don't know what happened to that video. Let me fix that for y'all. So this last video, let me get it because I have it. The last video is at Congressman Jerry Nadler's office. Now, they were assisting. They said protesters and rioters against immigration, and they pull up at their office. Let me go ahead and show you that real quick. Give me a second. Give me a second.
No, she did not. That is not what happened.
That
is not what happened.
Okay.
What?
Hold on a second.
You have your contact information, right?
No, I'm going to give you something to speak to you.
Hey.
That's what I'm going to do.
We got you.
No.
We got you.
You're
okay.
I don't have to.
You're okay. You're okay. You're going to be okay.
I'm a federal officer. We're here checking on something. We have the right to check. I'm giving you. I'm not resisting. Stop resisting. You harboring rioters in the office. So there's not a problem. Let's walk inside. Let's walk in.
For what?
Let me see what's in here. Let's go. Come on. Hold it there.
All right. So that was Congressman Jerry Nadler's office they pulled up to. You know how the Democrats be trying to assist them? Oh, not no more. You go ahead and assist them if you want to. Now, let me read to you what he said in a statement. Let me see here. Hold on. Wrong one. Give me a second. Hold on. All right. So his statement here is basically talking about Trump and the Department of Homeland Security is sowing chaos in our communities using intimidation tactics against both citizens and non-citizens in a reckless and dangerous manner. It said in the most recent and troubling incident, DHS agents forcibly entered my congressional office and handcuffed a member of my staff. And say from the onset, hold on, I'm gonna have to read this whole thing. I need to pull it up on another screen here. It says from the onset, my number one concern was for the safety of my staff. While no arrests were made and the situation was quickly de-escalated, I'm alarmed by the aggressive and heavy-handed tactics DHS is employing in New York City and across the country. The decision to enter a congressional office and detain a staff member demonstrates a deeply troubling disregard for proper legal boundaries. If this can happen to a member of Congress's office, it can happen to anyone. Is happening. I'm sorry. I call on President Trump DHS to halt the use of these dangerous tactics and to abandon the use of the expedited removal process, which denies due process to immigrants and citizens alike. So that is Jerry Nadler out of the great state of New York, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I will say this. I will say this to the migrants. The Democrats have done y'all wrong, but let me say something else. Y'all would be safe right now. You would actually have Kamala Harris. You actually had a Kamala Harris. You see what happens when you don't support FBAs. All the immigrants had to do, and all of you other groups had to do, is say, you know what? No, I'm not going to get reparations. But if them getting reparations going to save me and my family, then I'm on board for their reparations. Give it to them, Democrats. Hey, I'm going to support it because I want black folks to come out and vote Democrat. And if the Democrats give them reparations, then that would happen. Let's go back to California. Who was against the reparations? Who was on these in the chatter against it? The folks, Latinos, Asians. They were speaking against the reparations in California. What if the folks, the Latinos and the Asians, would have said in California, hey, especially the Latinos and Asians, forget the folks. Hey, man, we're going to come to the reparations meetings. We're going to say, hey, let's give FBAs this. We support it. We're going to demand our leadership put it up for a vote. They got to have this office, XYZ. We got to have this created. And then if it had been so much pressure with the FBAs, the Latinos, and the Asians in California, force Gavin Newsom and them to vote and sign that bill to create the office to determine who would get reparations. That would have helped Kamala Harris, because Kamala Harris could have piggybacked off of that and said, hey, if you get me in office and you go out and vote and get me a House and the Senate, we all on board. We gonna committed to make this happen at the federal level. Not a study. We committed to make it happen. But y'all got to come out and vote for me. Come out and vote for Democrats, for the House and for the Senate, so we don't have no obstruction from the Republicans, right? If they would have did that, Kamala Harris would have been the president right now. I would have been her biggest cheerleader. I would have been promoting her day in and day out. Okay? I'm talking about me. I can't speak about other people. I would have been promoting her. Most black folks would have been like, yeah, man, look what's happening in California. Okay, we see it going that way. Kamala Harris is down. We would have been Kamala Harris's biggest voter outreach. But y'all chose not to. Y'all always worrying about a white vote that you're never going to get. Democrats, I'm sorry, you're not getting the white vote like that. You're not. Every election, the majority of white people vote Republican. You're not getting it. You do better doing for FBAs, right? If you'd have done for FBAs, Democrats would be in power right now. And the FBAs would get cash payment reparations. It would be an injection of finance to the economy. Y'all know how FBAs spend their money anyway. Y'all know that. Y'all been knowing. But because some of you are so worried about maybe a few brothers and sisters that won't go blow their money on Mercedes, that they would actually take their money and invest it into a business. Maybe they'll buy some land. Maybe they'll do something, right? And they're not going to go trick off their money on jewelry and clothes and shopping and trips and all that. They're not going to trick off their money. Because some of you are so worried about FBAs not tricking off their money, maybe using their money to get out of debt so they free of debt. Because you're so worried that will be a big boost up, you would rather lose an election. Lose. And I believe you would probably stand on your own 2 feet, maybe want to lose more elections. Now, I hear y'all starting to try to push out Wes Moore. Wes Moore has already messed up. He would have to turn around and do the reparations in his state. Give you an example. You remember with Jasmine Crockett, you had the other brother, Sheldon Daniels. At first, everybody was like, okay, we may consider this brother. But then he started speaking against reparations. And the moment he spoke against reparations, what happened? Nobody wanted to hear from him no more. He was done. Nobody wanted to hear it. That's why I say, oh, Jasmine's winning. I knew that. Even Jasmine haven't came out and what did Jasmine say about reparations not too long ago? She made a comment. She tries to play both sides. I'm going to say that much. 1 minute she'll talk about reparations and the next minute she'll try to say, well, you ain't going to get it and this and that because they're not going to vote for it and whatever. Well, they didn't want to vote for civil rights. They didn't want us off the plantation. They didn't want us out of Jim Crow. They didn't want us out of a whole lot of things. If you leave it to the folks to say, okay, our whole lot in life is determined by how they feel and how they vote, we'll still be on the plantation today if it was up to them. Thank God we don't live our life based on them and what they got going on. Who cares what they got going on at this point? We need our reparations. It's just that simple. Don't let Trump pull something on y'all. That could be something Trump may pull. I mean, he could. What will stop Trump from trying to really stick it to y'all? What will stop him? He can't. He's not going to get reelected. So it's not like he would be hurting himself by doing anything. I know Trump done does some recent symbolic things, yes. I heard him even talking about Diddy, right? When they asked him out, would you pardon Diddy? He said, I don't know. He didn't say, hell no. He said, I don't know. If I see they treated him unfairly, he said, I know he used to like me a lot. And we will, talk and be friends. He said, but when I ran for office, he didn't talk to me as much. And I don't know. He said, but it doesn't matter. He said that. He said, if I see he's been treated unfairly, yeah, maybe. And when he said that, I say, wow. I said, oh, wow. He didn't say no. He didn't say any of that, ladies and gentlemen. He didn't. So, hold on. I'm just glancing at something that came. Oh, shoot. It finally came in? All right. I was waiting on the purchase. But anyway, so Trump, he floated the idea. Trump don't care. Trump do not care about any of y'all. He'll pardon who he want to pardon. I seen your boy, Boule Martin, crashing out about Democrats only pardoning people around Christmas like it's a gift when Trump pardon people whenever he want to. You know, he an NBA young boy got out because of Trump. I was like, why you let NBA young boy out? I mean, you gonna let somebody out. I mean, a lot of people saying, why you let R. Kelly out? I mean, if you think about it, R. Kelly didn't get convicted of no minors or nothing like that. That wasn't his case. His charges are literally similar to Diddy, but he didn't do no Diddy parties. That's the same charges. But you didn't hear nothing in R. Kelly's case about he did a Diddy party and he was doing, I mean, Diddy did some nasty, vile stuff, but a lot of people was participating with Diddy with that. That wasn't R. Kelly's case. So if anybody, I think he should have let out, he should have let the NBA young boy sit. Let R. Kelly out. If you're going to do it. But we don't know. Maybe he will let R. Kelly out later. We don't know. We just don't know. We know about the Larry Hoover situation. I know right now they're trying to petition Governor Pritzker over there to give him a pardon. Since Trump gave him a pardon, like, I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll see. We will see. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you know, tonight is going to be we launching our new AfroWire AI network. And it will be starting at right after the live stream. You know, I want y'all to go over there and subscribe. But before, I got a short message from one of our people on AfroWire. Y'all probably like her in the end. Let her introduce herself.
What's good, y'all? I'm LaSherica, your digital homegirl with the facts, the flavor, and just enough fire to keep it all the way real. Now, if you rock with Brother Phillip, and I know you do, then you gon' love what we're building next. Head over to AfroWire AI right after this live stream, because we taken Black news into the future. It's powered by AI, but baby, it's still rooted in our culture. We don't play about our people, and we don't play about the truth either. So come through, subscribe, and let's wire up this new wave together.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is one of the three on AfroWire AI. And LaSherica there will be cooking at 2000. We have that, it'll be connected. So after the live stream, you can go right over there. Make sure you subscribe, AfroWire AI channel, and we'll be posting daily content over there. Now, LaSherica always going to follow me at 2000. Of course, the podcast is 2100, or I'm sorry, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time or 9 p.m. Central Standard Time for the podcast, just so y'all could know. And make sure to take advantage of the sale right now on the ADNC app. You select annual, and the coupon code is called Freedom. You get 19% off. Freedom is the coupon code. And also the ADNC trip. Make sure to sign up for that. 16 spots left, $199 down. And you can make payments. Join us in Ghana. Ghana doing some great things right now. They fighting back against the folks. They're taking their gold back, and I like to see them. You know, they partnered up with Brother Traore over there. I like to see that too. So, thank y'all for listening, and make sure you go over there to AfroWire AI and check out the inaugural video. Of course, we got some YouTube shorts that be dropping every 30 minutes after that. But every day something going to be going on over there, and we are doing taking advantage of technology. We need to use technology for our messaging, and that's a beautiful thing, right? So go to AfroWire AI. We'll check you out tomorrow on the stream.